One of the stars of France's Alsace is the greyish-bluish Pinot Gris grape. Across the border to the north in Germany's Pfalz, it's known as the Grauer Burgunder, and it's coming right up. Hi guys, welcome to yet another edition of Big on Wine, the show which, as you probably know by now, brings you news, clues and reviews. Indeed, it tries to keep you up to speed with just about everything that's happening in the world of wine. And my wine of the week for this week is indeed from Germany's Pfalz, and it's this one here. And it goes under the name of Fritz Walter Grauer Burgunder Trocken, and it comes in for a price where I am of just under €10 a bottle. Okay, $9.98 in fact is the price of this where I live, which makes it extremely good value for money in my opinion. All right, let's fill you in on the backstory to this wine here. And I can tell you that the wine in question comes from the southernmost corner of Germany's Pfalz. In fact, it comes from a small village of about 500 people called Niederhorbach. Now, the Pfalz region has the advantage of being sheltered by the Vosges Mountains, or the hills extending north of the Vosges Mountains to the west of this area. And of course, the Pfalz is the area between these hills and the River Rhine. Okay, to give you the coordinates a little bit more precisely, Niederhorbach is only about 10 kilometers from the French border and roughly 40 kilometers from the city of Karlsruhe, which of course is on the other side of the Rhine. Right, officially this is Qualitätswein Pfalz, 12.5% alcohol, so fairly par for the course, 8 grams per litre of residual sugar, putting it of course firmly in the dry category. All right, let's take a look at the wine in the glass, and we can tell you of course that this is indeed a single variety wine, so the Grauer Burgunder, otherwise known as the Grauburgunder, or in some places the Rheinland-Pfalz. Single variety wine, Pinot Gris, of course, in France. Strange looking grapes, they can vary between white and almost like dark blue, greyish, bluish normally in colour. Generally speaking, the Grauburgunder or Pinot Gris produces wines with great aroma, lovely fruit, but relatively low acidity, in fact. All right, let's take a look at the wine in the glass, and we can see that this particular wine has indeed seen quite a lot of sunshine. In fact, the Alsace and Pfalz area of Europe does enjoy a wonderfully relatively dry and sunny climate, ideal for winemaking, of course. All right, and it has a golden yellow colour. There seems to be just a little touch of CO2 in the glass. There's a little bit of secondary fermentation there, a few bubbles at the bottom of the glass. But otherwise, the wine is beautifully made, clear, bright, golden yellow in colour. Right, let's have a look now at what we can get in terms of aromas from this wine. Let's try it in the nose. Here we go. Now, this wine does have a relatively restrained nose on it. The aromas which I'm picking up are fairly fine aromas of a multitude of fruits, which is quite typical of the Pinot Gris or Grauburgunder. In the area of, obviously, of citrus, there's some citrus there, ripe citrus in fact, so a relatively ripe lemon lime aroma, but combined with that some peach, maybe a touch of apple, maybe even a little hint of yellow plum in the mix there, and even perhaps one could classify that as spicy as well. So a whole mixture of fruit, ripe citrus, peach, yellow plum in the mix there. Very appealing in the nose, although relatively restrained. All right, let's try it now in the palate, see how we get on with our Grauer Burgunder. Here we go. Now this is a wine very much to my liking. As you probably gathered by now, I do like a dry white wine. This has just 8 grams per litre of residual sugar. So it does give that, it's not bone dry, but it does give that impression of dryness, but also of being extremely fruity. We're talking here very much about mature fruit. In terms of the fruit, I think we've probably got perhaps now in the mouth less of the lemon and lime, more of the apricot and peach coming to the fore here. Ripe fruit, as the nose already told us, this impression of ripeness in the fruit. And in particular, I would say a certain, in the mouth, a certain creaminess in the consistency or in the flavour of the mouth, a creaminess comes to the fore as well. So a dry wine, ripe fruit with the citrus fruits, yellow plum, peach and apricot, but also underlying that, there is still the acidic bite which the citrus does give it. So it is mouth-watering, it is varied, and it is abundant in terms of flavour, but it also has that nice, fresh, acidic bite, which I appreciate in a white wine. Very good indeed. Now, this asks the question, doesn't it? What are we going to be enjoying this with? Well, first of all, I think we can enjoy this wine perfectly well as is among friends, sharing a bottle of this wine. But if we're looking to match it to food, then I think primarily we're dealing here with fish. So fish probably of the pink variety, pink-fleshed variety, so salmon or rainbow trout. But something like a seafood salad would go down extremely well. Even chicken, I think. This is a flavourful wine, not too dry. Plenty of ripe fruit in this wine, so I think chicken would make also a good pairing with this particular wine as well. Serving temperature, of course, is important. I think to get the best out of a wine with an abundance of flavour, of kind of mellow, ripe fruit, even a touch exotic fruits, you don't want to serve it too cold, so I would say around the 9 or the 10 degree mark is the right kind of temperature for a wine of this sort. All right, let's bring you the heads up on this one. This is a quality Grauer Burgunder or Grauer Burgunder or Pinot Gris from the very southernmost corner of Germany's sun-drenched Pfalz. At under €10 a bottle where I am, it can be considered a bargain in my opinion. Fritz Walter, Grauer Burgunder Trocken 2018, ripe, aromatic, and slightly exotic fruit with a lovely citrus bite and even a touch of spice. 4 stars out of 5. Okay folks, many thanks for tuning in and checking out this week's video. And of course this was a little introduction to a very keenly priced and well produced Grauer Burgunder Pinot Gris from the very southernmost corner of Germany's Pfalz. Very nice stuff indeed. All right, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard, then please do feel free to give us a big thumbs up. Yep, give us a like. We do enjoy getting those. Drop a comment down below. We're always very eager to receive your comments and feedback. Share the video around. Follow me on my other social media platforms. And actually, why not consider subscribing? And you can do that by hitting that big red button that will appear by magic above my right shoulder. And of course, while you're about it, why not hit the bell? Yeah, hit that bell down below and you'll be informed as soon as every new video is uploaded. And naturally, I'll be back again next week with another great wine of the week for you. But until we meet again, this is Tony Melville signing off and saying, hey, take care out there. Be good to each other. Enjoy your wines. And cheers.